dare I say we've been busy, and by that I mean we've been hitting up estate sales, flea markets, garage sales, you name it. We start at the estate of a celebrated production designer and art director. He was known for a few productions that you may find familiar, including titles like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Babylon 5, the sci-fi show, and Peter Pan's 2000 production. Now, I know I wasn't the first picker there, but I was lucky enough to sweep a couple t-shirts related to these films. I found this Hook t-shirt and I almost thought it was modern just based on the condition. It looked way too perfect. I ended up taking a shot on it, and later I was able to verify the date based on another one online. Being in California means you are picking in the entertainment capital of the world, so I try to pick up all of these cast crew exclusive items as I find them, especially if they're art department tees. And this is how you know the t-shirt bros had been there before you. Someone had conducted a dry rot test on this unworn black t-shirt, and it was completely decimated. Otherwise, it would have made a great pickup. A real takeaway from this house was the extensive collection of Babylon 5 and sci-fi collectibles. He had everything from trading card games to figures to even school supplies of Babylon 5. So for the haul, we got the Hook Peter Pan with the single stitch sleeve, the one that almost felt too good to be true. This one's probably my favorite of the day. I may hang on to it for a little while. Moving on, we have a Showtime show. It's the first time I've actually heard about this one, called Resurrection, cast and crew tee. And then bringing in some heat, more Babylon 5. I got 2 art department tees, this white one and this black one right here. And to top things off, I picked up another cast and crew exclusive, this time a fleece from the Ripley's Believe It or Not TV show. Now this next sale had a lot of another category that I really enjoy, vintage advertising. It was the last day and this one was pretty crowded, but I still managed to grab a couple things for myself. Amazing, iconic Billy Bass. I think he's the Christmas edition. And while I was looking through some old hats, I spotted this vintage Jelly Belly piece. The ad is printed on a plexiglass sheet, and it was most likely used as a store or retail display, and it's gonna look great in my personal collection.
I think the Jelly Belly is cute.
Look good in the studio.
Little plexi display for 10.
I went through countless rooms to see what I could find, and this was probably the weirdest thing that I found there. This is a Halloween costume display stand by the Ben Cooper Company. They made some of the most iconic Halloween costumes and masks from the 1940s onward. Now you may recognize this one, it's Ernie from the Sesame Street collection. Our friends from Hawaii had never been to an estate sale before. Crazy, right? They're both collectors like us, but the picking scene out in Hawaii is so radically different.
More stretchy Batmans. How much are they worth? Wish this had the rings in it.
This soda is nearly 10 years old. It came out to promote the Fallout 4 game. And this is from the year Pulp Fiction won an MTV Movie Award. I bought this beautiful candelabra along with this funky little disco shirt. At another location, this Kodak camera bag really caught my eye, but for $30, I felt like that was a little high, so I passed on it. There was a lot of gear that suggested that this person was probably a creative. Like, look at this photography portfolio, beautiful stuff. I picked out a few photographs, and these are part of a vintage beauty campaign. What I love about these is we still sell beauty similarly today. This other spot was an Apple collector's dream. There was so much retro tech there. This attic area had all of the hardware in it, so it was very popular with the shoppers. Now, I already have too many computers, and my strategy was to look for something that nobody else was looking for: vintage posters. pretty crazy to think about, but these flower seeds are from the 1960s. If you grow these, doesn't that mean you have vintage flowers? I don't always go into strangers' basements, but if I do, it's for vintage. The owner of this house was in the grocery and produce industry, so when you went down into his basement, you saw these incredible crates for soda bottles and produce. Despite how they look, they can make really unique interior design pieces when styled correctly. This was a bread crate for a really famous restaurant out here in Echo Park.
This is a restaurant.
I found a few things in the front yard as well where they were doing an outdoor sale, like this new old stock Looney Tunes hat. I picked up this unused hot pink film camera. Not much clothing at this one. I did pull this Hard Rock Maui tee. I had a jump scare in the garage when I spotted these. I just saw a box of old t-shirts and it ended up being this guy's produce company. I do have to say, PMS is an iconic business name.
I bought something stupid. Stupid awesome.
I love a good flea market day, and on this particular one, there was this Sucker Punch movie display banner. I don't want to get too excited, but it looks very similar to this one from the 2011 movie premiere that the cast is standing in front of right here. This thing is massive. I don't have plans to display it right now, but who knows. Another vendor had a pretty decent selection of vintage hats, so I took some time digging through them, and I ended up with these three.
Three?
Pretty cool little score for $5 a piece. There's a Grand Ole Opry, a Bell Motosport, and a Maui hat that's got this vintage Hilo Hatties tag. I can't even show you guys this tee without it being censored. Let's just say it was a very accurate depiction of the upward female anatomy. I'm really into art tees, so I did ask him how much he wanted for it, and he knew what he had. He was pretty firm on $80. That's gonna be a catch and release for me. We actually bought these for our buddy Randy about a year ago, and of course I ended up finding them in the wild. So TMNT patches. This matching set was pretty cool. I was trying to figure out a date on it, but ultimately decided to leave it behind. Found this pretty thrashed tee on a Screen Stars tag, and I did a little bundle deal for it all. I love these lamps that I found, and they were a great deal, but they both needed to be rewired, and I don't have that kind of skill set. Here's a little palette cleanse to appreciate some packaging. My wife actually collects discontinued nail polishes. When I look at this stuff, I'm getting really inspired. I'm thinking about manufacturing, I'm thinking about design. Even if I'm not buying these pieces, they still bring a lot of value to me.